Hello and welcome to the Broker Time and Billing System version 2.0. It's a demonstration video today covering the Landman and how to create a new time entry, how to create time off entries, how to attach receipts to line items, followed up with how to run your Landman time report. The first thing we're going to cover is the login. You're going to log in using the username and password that's assigned to you by your broker admin. Well, and once you do log in, you're navigated to the time entry page. This is the page that you're going to do all those things that I mentioned. You'll notice that your username is showing up here in the Landman field. So the next step is to go ahead and select your client that you'll be doing the work for. Once you select a client, you notice the billing period populates in this field, and then you also notice that the grid appears with the date lines for each date in the billing period. Then to create your time entry, you just select the date that you'd like to enter the time on. And you start with the legal description. You'll double click that and you'll see the drop down menu appear, and then you click the down arrow. And you'll notice that there's recent locations, and these are going to store the locations that you've entered previous time on. And then you've also got the option to add a new location or to change the location. So I'm just going to select one of these. And then that fills in that field there, and then you'll also notice that the client field automatically fills in with the same information that you selected up at the top. And your client Landman, select the first name in the list. Now the work details field is an optional field. You can use it to provide more details of the work that you're doing in the area. Days to completion is also an optional field. Next is the work type. Work type is a required field, and you'll select one from the list of the different work types that are approved by Chesapeake. And then you got your time worked. This is similar to the old system where it's broken down into quarter days. So you can select a quarter day, a half day, 3/4 days, or a full day. And once you move to the rates tab, when you click on that tab, it'll automatically fill in the rates that were provided by your broker. We're going to scroll over a little bit, and you'll notice the expenses columns here. You've got a lot of the same expenses that you had on the previous system: lodging, meals, the mileage rate, and then the effective mileage, and then a description for mileage, followed by the phone, copies, filing fees, miscellaneous expense field, and then also a description for that field. So we'll go ahead and go back to the lodging. Click to highlight the text field there, and then you can type in your lodging amounts, and then the same with the meals. And then you can select some mileage. And you'll notice when I click on the next column, it automatically fills in the rate that's assigned by your broker, and then it also automatically calculates the dollar amount for the mileage that you've entered. And then you will need to provide a description for any mileage that you enter into the system. And you do that in the description field there. Now we keep going to the right of the screen, you'll see the totals, the expense totals first, and that's just everything from the lodging column on. And then you've got your wholesale total, which is your expenses plus your rate. Now this last column here is the attachments column. This is where you can attach receipts or other documentation to the line item. You'll notice that it's got the paperclip icon with a small plus sign. Double click on that to open up the attachments text box here. And here you'll see any previously selected attachments will show up in this box here. And then you can also add new attachments by clicking on the browse button, which will open up a folder view, so then you can go in and select your document. I'm going to go ahead and put a check mark by this receipt here, and then I'll click the OK button, and that's going to attach that receipt to that line item. You'll notice that the icon has changed. It's now just a paperclip without the plus sign. And then we'll come back to the other side of the screen here, and we're going to click Save to save the data that we just entered into the system. This way it'll store it. If anything happens, you get disconnected or you log off, anything like that, this data has been entered in the system and it's been saved. You will not lose this data. You'll notice here there's a copy down button that's grayed out. You use this much the same way that you use the pre-fill function in the old system. It's a little different, so I'm going to show you that real quick. Select the line item. You'll notice that the copy down button is now ready for use. Click on the copy down button and it's going to copy the exact information from the top line down to the next date. Now this information can be edited. Make any changes you need to make. You'll notice that the effective mileage changes. Go ahead and change the mileage and put in a new description. And then you'll notice that the rates totals again. Now the attachment column here is showing that there's an attachment. Since you copied down the line exactly as it was above and you had attached a receipt to that line, the receipt also shows up as attached to this copy down line. So I have to go in and edit that and double click on the attachment icon, and then you uncheck the attachment and then click OK. And you'll notice that the icon is back showing you can add an attachment. There's no longer an attached receipt to this line item. We'll come back and we'll do a save again to save the data. Always remember to save your data. That way if anything happens, you don't lose that data. It's already in the system. Now we're going to select the 17th line item that we just created, and we'll do a copy down again. And that brings down that information down to the next line. And since we removed the attachment on the previous line, there's no longer an attachment. And we can come back and we can save this information again. Now we're going to go to the 19th, which is a Saturday on the calendar. So that's going to be a day off. So to create the day off, just come over to the work type. And you'll notice at the bottom of the work type menu, there's a time off selection. Make that selection, and then you go to the time work, and it's going to default to 1 full day. We do not have incremental days off at this time in the system. And then once you've selected the work type time off and the time worked, then you can go ahead and save that. And your time off is now created. And then you can copy that down to Sunday if Sunday is also a day off. And there you have the 2 Saturday and Sunday time off. Now we're going to go down to the Monday the 21st. Now we can't copy down from a line that's has date information because the copy down feature only works for the previous line down to the next line. Since we did a time off, we don't want to copy down that to our Monday. So we'll just have to start over and double click on the legal, and we'll select our legal description. And we'll select our client Landman once again. And then you can fill in your optional fields. And fill in your work types, along with the time worked. And your rates are already populated. Do another save. Make sure we don't lose any data. Now you can use the copy down feature to continue copying down the lines. I'm going to go ahead and copy down the next 5 lines because I'm working in the same area. I'll make a few edits here and there. And then I'm back to the 26th, which is the next weekend, so I'll do another time off entry here. And now I can copy down this line since Sunday is also a time off line. And we're back to the following Monday. We'll continue with making the time entry. And we're going to add our time worked. And our day rates. And just throw another expense in here. Make some copies, maybe some clerical work. Okay, now you've got a completed billing period with your time entries. You've got your time off entries also. Do one last save. And that way all the information is saved in the system. Now you're ready to run your Landman time report for this billing period. So come to the Reports tab, you'll click on there and you'll see the Landman time report shows up. So you click on that. This is the Landman time report You select your date, and you want to coincide with your billing period, so you're going to go 2/16 to 2/28, and you don't have to follow the billing period on this report. You can select any number of days that you'd like to have the report show. But you do need to select your client, and then it should be your username in the Landman field. And then you have two viewing options to view the report. You can select the Get XLS, which is your standard Excel spreadsheet document, or you can choose to do a PDF document, which would be like a printer ready version. You need to print it out and sign it, turn it in for any other reasons, or if you just want to keep a hard copy of that. And then you just select which format you prefer, and then it'll load the report from there. And once you've completed your reports, then you have finished your time entries. And that is all for today. Thank you.